In this video, we'll explore the fascinating story of humanity's oldest companion, the dog. Dogs have lived alongside humans for thousands of years, serving many different roles. The bond between humans and dogs goes back tens of thousands of years. According to DNA studies, the first ancestors of domestic dogs appeared between 40,000 and 30,000 years ago. That's when wolves genetically began to diverge from what would later become domestic dogs. For thousands of years, early humans lived as hunter-gatherers, constantly moving and relying on wild game for survival. So how did wild wolves, once fierce predators, become loyal human companions? Wolves are pack hunters, aggressive yet cautious. They often avoided humans, who were also skilled hunters and could pose a threat. But some wolves realized that human camps could be a good source of food, thanks to discarded bones and leftovers. Bolder wolves, possibly outcasts from their own packs, began approaching human settlements for scraps. Unable to hunt effectively alone, these wolves saw humans as their best chance at survival. These animals were less aggressive, more sociable, and gradually began to live closer to humans. Over time, these wolves started breeding near human camps. Their offspring, inheriting friendly traits, grew increasingly comfortable around people, even offering protection by guarding camps from predators. This mutually beneficial relationship laid the foundation for the domesticated dog. Some pups still showed aggression and were removed, while friendlier ones were kept and bred. This gradually reduced aggressive traits in the population. Dogs became valuable helpers. Their keen sense of smell helped humans track and hunt prey. They also served as natural alarm systems, warning of nearby threats while people slept. Their presence allowed tribes to sleep more soundly. Dogs would bark at danger and alert the entire camp. This alliance gave dogs food and safety, while humans gained hunting partners and protection. Emotional bonds soon formed. Ancient burial sites show that dogs were often buried with honors and rituals, just like family members. As humans settled and began farming, dogs adapted. Unlike wolves, they learned to digest grains and vegetables, thanks to genetic mutations. Dogs became omnivores, living in homes and guarding human property. They were the first animals humans ever domesticated, and to this day, the only domesticated predators. But how did a large gray wolf evolve into a Chihuahua or a pug? The answer lies in selective breeding, a process driven entirely by human choice. Long before the science of genetics was understood, people favored puppies that looked appealing and had friendly behavior. They bred dogs with desirable traits such as courage, warmth tolerance, or hunting ability to create dogs suited for specific needs. Over time, selective breeding drastically changed dogs' appearances and behavior. Those lacking desired traits were often culled. Today, more than 500 dog breeds are officially recognized, each developed for particular roles. Many breeds from the past have disappeared, but others have been carefully developed to hunt, retrieve, or even run on wheels. Dachshunds were bred to chase animals out of burrows. Terriers hunted rats and mice. Retrievers fetched downed birds from water. Sled dogs pulled loads in harsh, snowy climates. In medieval England, there were even dogs trained to run inside large wheels that turned meat spits over fires. It was exhausting work, and dogs took turns in shifts. In the Pacific Northwest, indigenous peoples bred a dog whose fur was used like wool to make ceremonial blankets. Selective breeding, however, has led to serious health issues in many breeds. Bulldogs and pugs often struggle to breathe due to their short snouts. Giant breeds like Great Danes usually live only 5 to 6 years. In contrast, Chihuahuas are among the healthiest and longest living breeds. One fascinating category is herding dogs. They fall into two main types: guardian dogs that protect livestock, and herders that guide animals from place to place. Guard dogs are usually large and powerful. From puppyhood, they are raised with the flock, bonding with sheep or goats as their own family. These dogs don't need training. Their guarding instincts are inherited and instinctual. To protect them from wolf bites, they often wear spiked collars around their necks. The most vulnerable area. They don't attack predators unless provoked, but their presence and barking are often enough to scare wolves away. Such dogs are often sold with the herd, as their loyalty lies with the animals, not the owner. Despite hunger, they won't harm the livestock. Farmers even avoid slaughtering animals in the dog's presence, as the dog might try to protect them. Herding dogs, in contrast, are fast and highly intelligent. Breeds like the Border Collie are masters at controlling movement within a herd. They were bred only around 600 years ago, with an instinct to gather and guide groups of animals. This instinct comes from their wolf ancestors. In nature, wolves often herd large prey like bison or deer, steering them into ambush zones. The herding instinct is a suppressed version of the predatory instinct, without the final stages of kill and consumption. These dogs chase and direct livestock using only the early phases of that instinct, gathering and guiding. When a sheep strays, the dog races ahead and intimidates it back into line. Some herders even use strong eye, staring animals down without barking. Highly trained dogs can perform a trick called backing, running across the backs of sheep to reach the opposite side of the herd. Dogs also have an extraordinary sense of smell. Unlike humans, they can sniff independently with each nostril, allowing them to trace the direction of a scent. Their noses contain about 300 million olfactory receptors, compared to just 5 million in humans. This allows them to detect scents at concentrations 100 million times lower than what we can perceive. Dogs can smell events from the past, who was in a room, what they did, and where they went. Their brains process smells much more efficiently than ours, allowing them to remember a wide range of scents. Trained dogs can even detect illnesses or pregnancies in humans by subtle changes in body odor. Dogs also read human emotions and body language incredibly well. Even untrained dogs can understand when a person points at something, a skill rare in the animal kingdom. They read human eyes and gestures to interpret moods and commands. Dogs have special facial muscles that raise their eyebrows, giving them that classic sad puppy look, an evolutionary trait that helped them win human compassion and food. Unlike wolves, dogs have these muscles. In nature, survival belongs to the strongest. For dogs, it was the friendliest who thrived. Studies show that dogs experience a sharp drop in stress hormones when around their owners or family members. While cats may treat humans as servants, dogs see us as the most important beings in their lives. Their love is unconditional. However, selective breeding also weakens some survival traits. Many dogs today, despite their size, couldn't survive in the wild. The stereotype that dogs and cats don't get along isn't always true. They can form strong bonds. There was even a dog named Jenny who loved cats so much, she rescued over 1,000 of them. In the 1980s in New York, a man named Philip Gonzalez adopted Jenny. During walks, Jenny kept finding injured or stray cats and leading Philip to them. Eventually, he and Jenny formed a volunteer group to rescue cats around the city. At one point, over 60 cats, most of them disabled, lived in his home. Jenny passed away in 2005. A charitable foundation was later named in her honor and still helps stray cats today. Now, here's a surprising fact. There's a breed of dog that can't bark at all. It's called the Basenjis. Due to the unique shape of its larynx, it doesn't bark but can still whine, growl, and yodel. This ancient African breed was once gifted to Egyptian pharaohs and found in royal tombs. Its silence made it a perfect hunting companion. Basenjis are still used by local African tribes and became known in Europe and America in the 20th century. They're popular among people who prefer a quiet home, and they don't have a typical doggy smell, a plus for many. Another dog with a dramatic history is the bulldog. Despite their cute appearance today, they were once fierce fighters. Their name comes from their original use, bull baiting. In medieval England, bulldogs were set against bulls in brutal blood sports. The belief was that meat from a bull killed by dogs tasted better. Old-time bulldogs were taller, stronger, and had powerful jaws designed to latch onto the bull and hold on. These events were eventually outlawed as society became more humane. The breed was then refined into the smaller, friendly bulldogs we know today. There are both English and French bulldogs. Ironically, the French variety was developed in England and only gained popularity in France later. While losing a dog can be heartbreaking, science now offers a controversial solution: cloning. In South Korea, several companies clone pets, mostly dogs and cats, for around $100,000. The process involves preserving the pet's DNA, fertilizing an egg, and implanting it into a surrogate mother. The result is a genetically identical animal, though its personality may differ. Cloning raises ethical concerns, especially the treatment of surrogates and the high number of failed attempts before a healthy clone is born. Despite criticism, pet cloning is becoming more common, with demand increasing every year. Could we tame a wolf today like our ancestors did? It's extremely risky. Adult wolves, even if raised from pups, retain wild instincts and may eventually challenge their human alpha. Wolves can be dangerous to people and other animals, and in many countries, keeping them is illegal. Sometimes, dogs and wolves do interbreed, producing wolf dogs, powerful, intelligent hybrids that are often banned in places where wolves still live. All dog breeds, no matter how different, can interbreed. This genetic compatibility is why they're still considered a single species. Thanks for watching this video until the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope to see you again soon.